Game audio good? Excellent. All right, we are live. Welcome. Please let me know if it's a little too loud. It seems like it probably is. Let me see if there's a option. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. How's that? Tad loud? Yeah, okay, cool. Let me know how this is. It's pretty good on, I mean, I also, like, I've got to weigh it against what I'm literally hearing as well, which is going to be different. How is that now compared to my voice? Should I drop it a bit more? Music a little bit, the others okay? Alright, let's do that. Because it's good music, but we want to make sure that, you know, I'm audible. Or at least, we want to make sure that I'm not competing with the game audio. Much better? Sweet. Good music though. And I'm already super charmed by this aesthetic. I like the chunkiness. I like the yeah, I'm already enjoying what they're pitching in terms of the futuristic aesthetic. But I've been listening to a lot of Perturbator and other relevant bands, so you know, I'm down with all this. Oh. Well, as usual, it is the Monday night SciFiAIguy Twitch stream. We got Mushin, hello. Hello. Yeah, we'll be doing the usual tonight. This might be one of those evenings where I end up ending it a little early. I'm going to see how energy levels fare. Oh, we have a place of old. Hello as well. Welcome. Starting strong. We'll give it another couple minutes, as per usual. I sent out the Snapchat. I bugged a lot of people, so who knows? We might get a few more. The people are busy. Some of them are overseas. And that's on them, really. They're to blame. They're to blame for their own lives. And that's okay. That's okay by me. Yeah, the music is so upbeat, it's really good. It's what I need. Bopping around. I have set up a Discord. I'm going to be pimping it a little bit more over the course of the week, which is to say I'm going to, pin a tweet, maybe share another link. Try and familiarize myself with Discord in general. Because I've never used Discord before and I've always wanted to. Well, I say always. It's been on my radar for a couple months. A year or two, maybe. It's been around a while, I suppose. But I thought, hey, if we have a SciFiAIguy Discord, that would be kind of cool. I believe Combi did in fact suggest it at one point. So it's not like this is an original thought that popped unbidden into my head, but it's a good thought to have, so I've executed on it. I've started a Discord account. I started a server for SciFiAIguy. Unfortunately, it's not cool enough to have that be the sweet URL, so maybe I'll do one of those tiny URL custom ones at some point in the future. Oh, Mushin hunting monsters and watching on laptop. You are fucking obsessed with that game. Yeah, chat as much or as little as you want. Before going live, I scrolled down to the social section of the PlayStation because I never checked this shit out, and I saw a pic of you playing Monster Hunter, so I gave it the thumbs up, and then I, pressed the circle button heaps until I was no longer looking at it. And that was my experience. It was positive in the sense that I tried to do a thing and I succeeded at that thing. As for the ripples of said action, can't speak to them, don't know what it means. That's fine. We have Cat Does Twitch, hello! Hello. Oh, place of old, ill or heat strokes. Oh, no, look, if you need to bail out or if you don't want to talk much tonight, that is absolutely fine. Yeah, whatever you need to do to survive. Cat Does Twitch, can someone fill me in on this? Oh, yeah, do you mean the game or our conversation on Discord? Because the game is new, the game is brand fucking new. This is week 1, you have chosen the best time to log in with your spawn. Gonna sip the bevy. Non-alcoholic, still just drinking cordial. Although I do have a bit of pasito awaiting me as well. Alright, let me check these other... No, that's not what I wanted. Well, obviously we want that. I won't know until we're playing whether I want those things. So that's fine. Oh, you've been watching Nier Automata during night feeds. I'm happy to have provided entertainment during such a time. You're welcome, basically. On that note, yeah, so before we get started, I'll do a quick talk about Nier Automata. I was tossing around the idea of making an independent video, like, you know, maybe I could go live on YouTube. The benefit of going live on YouTube is then you just have a YouTube video. You know, it's convenient. I don't have to, you know, do like a conversion export thing that I have to do with Twitch. Don't get me wrong, the Twitch thing is great. It's so smooth and so easy, but it is an extra step. And if I just wanted to talk to you guys, going live on YouTube without actively engaging with chat seems like the best option. So I was like, okay, let me scope out Nier Automata. Let me see how the game is going to end. Let me see the sort of plot lines that I was going to miss out on. And I tuned out so hard, guys. I tried so hard to read that plot. I'm a PhD student. I read, like, this is not to say that I'm smart. This is to say that I read a lot. And I have to read a lot of stuff that is often complex, that is sometimes out of my field. Researching AI means that I have to read a lot of stuff that talks about fields of inquiry, and, you know, there are certain specific terms that I'm just not as familiar with, and that can be a barrier to getting down to what's being said. The Wikipedia plot synopsis for Nier Automata was fucking intractable. Could not, I zoned out so hard, my eyes glazed over. I've also had a long and tiring day. A medical day, shall we say. Let's leave it at that. So I was not in the right headspace already, but from what little I was able to glean from this monolith, there is next to nothing that happens later on in that game that would have added any more depth to the conversations we were already having about the game while playing it. The only thing that maybe would have is the fact that there was like a virus distributed that changed people's personalities, but that can be talked about in through other texts. I don't need to get like 20, 30 hours deep into this game to pull this one unique storyline nugget out of Nier Automata and then, oh, my thesis will be saved. No, that's not how that works. I can pull that from another text. That's absolutely fine. That's no problem for me to do that. Mushin, the canonical ending is the fish ending. Yeah, I beat up a fish. It took me forever. I basically sprained my left hand holding down that one button that beat up the fish. And yeah, was done and dusted. No, there's like betrayal and references to characters from the previous game, and oh yeah, and a virus happens, and oh no, and as we guessed, or possibly already knew, I can't remember, the human's already dead. The humans are so dead. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Yeah. But after doing that, and after being unable to draw additional meaning from the Nier Automata synopsis, I didn't read the synopsis for Soma, so I'm still one game down on that front. But if Soma warrants it, I might actually make a video. And it might be a video in which I touch upon several games, I don't know, because Soma was an important game in a lot of ways, and it didn't quite get the respect it was due near the end because the gameplay was just too much of a barrier for me. So I think that might be worth doing, but we'll see. Again, it's dependent on a lot of factors, energy and free time being two of them, and these are typically the ones that I'm the least available on. Oh, the one where you die eating the mackerel. Oh, that was the best ending. You know, you want to know why I forgot? It's because I died, and my consciousness, you know, wasn't there at the time. It had been backed up to the cloud, and so the new me has never eaten mackerel before. What's a mackerel? That's all right. I'll get the Republican presidential candidate from House of Cards to solve my own murder because I'm incredibly rich. Deep cut. Deep cut. All right. Oh, do you see that? Look at the recursive. Are you going to do it again? No? I did it before. Do you guys see it? Like the mirrors within mirrors, spacer was expanding. So put another penny in and turn the crank, etc. Never mind. Anyway, let's start playing this game because it's fucking 10 past. I've been waxing lyrical. Hang on, I'm gonna. Crafty missed it. It had the new game screen, and then it had a new game screen within that new game screen, and then so on and so on ad infinitum. And it looked really cool. I mean, not infinitum because obviously pixel size here is visible and important. Mushin gets it. Mushin gets it. All right. New game. So this is an adventure game, which I'm fucking hyped for. Console adventure game. I'm going to turn it up a little bit on my end because this music is too sweet.
Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology.
I'm erect.
Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body.
Genetic mods as well,
Millions of
okay.
people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology.
Okay. All pretty standard.
Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day.
No, you just need to change the definition of human.
Keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to Parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Organizations,
Plenty to
like
talk
the
about
human
there.
revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human.
Okay, so I've played Deus Ex. You know, I've seen that war.
High above the rising tension below, a Parallax engineer has blurred the line even further. And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
That's very cute. Is that me? Do I get to be that? Oh! Mwah! Chef kissy fingers. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. I love a good prologue. I love it. Okay. It's 12/20, 2012. Home sweet home. Okay, maybe not so sweet. Musty might be a better descriptor. Okay, so it's first person. It's first person! Whoa! Whoa, okay. Items. Menu. This just brings up what I'm familiar with. Yep, alright, cool. Oh! Shit! Wait, no, I have to be on brand. Oh, damn. Thank you, PlayStation. Oh, okay. I'm a SciFiAIguy. That'll have to do. Alright, sweet. You know what? I should have numbered it in case we need multiple slots. Oh, are there only 2 slots? Or is it that it's saying that there's one full and then I can go to another empty one and that will just go on and on and on? No. I have no idea. We'll find out. We'll find out the hard way. Floppy disks, yep. Oh, damn it. What's it called? Oh, Crafty might remember what it's called, because Sean Bouchard mentions this a lot. But I say mentions it a lot. He's mentioned it repeatedly, and it's stuck in my head, and I love it. It's a term for an artifact that delivers understanding through a metaphor that is outdated. So the save icon being a floppy disk, when floppy disks are no longer in use, but it is understood that that means save. There's a fucking name for that designer. It's SciFiAIguy. Ah, I missed the butts. I could have called it butts. Alright, next one we're going to call it butts. Just butts. You guys have to help me remember though, because I'm bad at this. I'm bad at remembering. No, just allow me to continue. Alright, I just needed to check that out. Alright, we have an inventory. Let's explore this. I have an ID card. Look at ID. Fuck yes, a small plastic ID card with your name, picture, and stats. Wow. That's novel. I like the idea that stats, in a world where you can be cybernetically modified, where you can be bioengineered, your ID card has to contain relevant stats. Like your D&D stats. Like strength and dex and con. That would be awesome. I would enjoy that in the world. Okay, so I don't want to leave just yet. I need to go through this place. Let's go right to left and end with us leaving the apartment. Can you scroll? Okay, so it's just making sure that I'm not... Oh, that's going to make things a bit tricky. Okay, there's up and down and there's left and right, and it's like navigating a DVD menu where they hid cookies. Do you remember cookies or Easter egg? Not cookies. Are we back? Am I back? Are we back? Am I back? Okay, so the controller got... We're back? Okay, it says both microphone audio and gameplay being broadcast. Am I back? Are we back? Is it good? Back safe? Okay, cool. So the controller got unplugged accidentally, and we've had Bluetooth problems. It's plugged back in, so it should be fine, because we set it to run off of the cord power. Or not just run, so power off the cord, but also run signal, but maybe that USB cable is not in as far as I... Hang on. I'm gonna jiggle the port. No, that's in. That's in. Alright, if it happens again, I will explore deeper, but for now, let's just assume it's fine. I'm just gonna sit a little more gingerly here, just in case I jostled the cable somehow. Got a bit excited. Right, fridge. Okay, so we can look at the fridge, we can use an item on the fridge, we can open the fridge, or we can talk to the fridge. You remind the fridge that you need to pick up some more milk when you go out. It jots down milk on the list. I was saying talk to the fridge as a joke. Oh, what a future. Probably best to just make a mental note instead. Probably best to just make your own milk. You've had enough vitamin R for one lifetime anyway. Vitamin R. Okay. Look at fridge. The video screen on the front says, mustard, half full. Spoiled milk, 10 days past expired. Okay. Open fridge. You open the fridge to see a bottle of mustard and a carton of spoiled milk, which has developed an odor. Maybe the spoiled milk has one more good day in it. Maybe. Yeah, I'm taking the milk. Spoiled milk added to items. Oh, I love that. Watcha! Wow. Let me guess, it's just an empty fridge now? The mustard has adhered itself to the fridge door. Okay. Cannot equip mustard. Sink! Look at sink. You don't know exactly what that ooze is, only that it seems to be growing day by day. It wounds me that, you know, that I'm playing in 2064, the realm of the future, that I'm playing fucking Bachelor Frog. That wounds me. It cuts deep. Those years are behind me. Also, Crafty is correct. Milk is indeed what I write on shopping lists. I've done it before. I'll do it again. Alright. Turn on sink. Running water might just make it worse. Okay. Use milk on sink. No way. You can't possibly imagine the indescribable, inhumane horrors you're about to unleash onto the world. Or the stank. Okay. ID card. On sink. Don't stick that in there. You're certainly not going to be the one to reach inside that to retrieve it. I would love to know if this game has, putting anything inside immediately halves its shelf life. You stick your ID in the fridge to let it cool off for a bit. Well, that was pointless. Yeah, it's a fucking adventure game. All of this is pointless. Alright. GX Ultra Beats headphones. Look at. A pair of GX Ultra Beats headphones. The ultimate in budget audio. You'd better try them out so you can start crafting your review. Okay, so we write reviews. Oh, what a future. Talk to. The smart headphones are enjoying your voice in high definition. Okay. Pick up. Yep, added to items. I completely forgot to talk to the goo. Those are GX Ultra Beats you have to do a product review on. Uh-huh. They're smart headphones, so you should be able to use them with some things lying around your apartment. Like the sink? You can hear the sink gurgling in high def. You ask the blob in the sink not to loiter, but it bubbles up at you. Roll initiative. You sync up the headphones and listen to a live stream of a cooking show about making ramen using household materials, like grout and floor grease. Unfortunately, you learn that mustard and spoiled milk aren't quite enough to make good ramen. I beg to differ. Okay, that should be enough testing for the headphones review. Your accountability remains intact right away. Oh, really? What about this stack of papers? A stack of paper for your unpublished novel. Oh, it got me. Oh, guys have been hit. Man down. Oh, man down. Jesus Christ. Oh, stung. Absolutely stung. Flip through stack of papers. Pen on paper is the most tangible method, but if you're going to be so sloppy, maybe going digital would be a good goal. No, your principles whine too much at the thought. Would Hemingway go full digital or if he were in 2064? Possibly. That's a pointless question. That's preposterous. His entire identity is tied up in where he was from and who he was surrounded by. That's fucking meaningless. Probably. Thank you. Most people write a talk on paper. You just talk to paper. Blank paper. Oh god, the upcoming novel is even blank paper. Ah, those damn headphones. All blank. There's nothing to read or hear. A single piece of loose, unsorted paper lies on the ground. Okay. Stem headphones. This page is blank. All of it useless. A page only holds the opinions of its author. This one's blank. Okay. A page holds way more than the opinions of its author, motherfucker. Apart from anything, the author's dead! It sort of suits the room's aesthetic better with it there on the ground, don't you think? I guess. Ooh, a YMO poster. Admire it. Your friend Hayden gave this to you. The group is old, but the music is timeless. That's what he said, at least. Are they a known band? Like, is this meant to be a reference to a literally existing band? Touch it. Careful. That's a load-bearing poster. Okay, so they've watched The Simpsons. I'm going to talk to it. Thanks for the tunes. Maybe one day they'll get released on Lips/music. Okay. You touch the poster and YMO begins playing in your ears. Oh! Hey now, you're getting paid to write this review. No one expects you to be this morally grounded. I'm not gonna, like... Of course I'm gonna fucking touch everything in the room first. You kidding me? Window. Look at window. Everyone loves a vertical sliding window. Slide currently broken. Window being propped open by that book. Maintenance request pending. Despite the smell, keep the window open. Better to have gross air than no air. Besides, the window's broken. Yep, okay. Talk to window. There's no one out there. Sure. Letting me use all of the verbs is a bit frustrating. Don't throw your ID outside. You want to get cyber cracked? You want to dox yourself? Those damn headphones. Don't throw your new headphones out there. This may be a moderately safe neighborhood, but those will be gone in 10 minutes if you leave them out. Alright, fine. Fine. Oh, I can't interact with a strawberry? I can! Oh, it's a plant. This plant is in pretty bad shape. Isn't this supposed to be one of those easier plants to take care of? I don't know. Motherfucker, it's your plant, which is to say my plant. Careful, the poor thing is more fragile than a snowflake. Okay. Talk to plants. They say plants react positively to conversation, but this poor thing might be too far gone already. Super spoiled milk. Gross. Murder the plant. Clearly water from the sink isn't an option right now, but this gross spoiled milk is definitely not a nutritious alternative. Damn it! I wanted some Akira shit. No, don't listen. It's not a good vibe. I want to listen to the plants grow. Oh wait, I've already done this. No! Oh. Oh my god, there's multiple options? No, there's too many jokes. If your plant was in any state of discussion, it would surely enjoy a thrilling formal debate on current events. If okay, look, I just have to assume that. No, all right. I can't go checking everything twice/thrice. We have to make progress. All right. Coffee. Drink it. Look at coffee. Coffee, the great equalizer. The one thing that the poor and rich alike need to chug through the day. You assume. It's a good point. I have no idea. Drink coffee. You take a sip of the old, stale coffee. The letters F and K seem clear as day. It's also really gross. What? Is this a way of saying fuck, but without saying fuck? It's weird. It's weird, game. This cup has really cooled off on talking. It lost the hotsphere a while ago. Yeah, spoiled milk. Spoiled milk and stale old coffee. Yum. Is that sarcasm? It might have been yum. No. Yeah, tell me no. Just tell me quick no. Careful, those are a review copy. GX probably wouldn't appreciate them coming back covered in coffee. But I'm filthy. It's authenticity. Look at bed. You're home within your home. Nothing like curling up under those blankets and escaping away for a while. You'd better submit your article before you turn in, or you won't have a place to sleep for long. Yeah, yep. Thanks for letting me know. No, I'm not going to say sleep in bed. I'm just going to use an item on the bed. The headphones. The headphones detect that you're laying down and begin to play some soothing ocean sound effects. Calm down. You're not going to get audited on your Times headphones used quota. No, but you're giving me things to interact with, so don't fucking tell me I shouldn't. This bed only chats back when you're sleep talking. It's not the most well-designed function. Does it actually chat back? That's kind of wild. Look at Lappy. Ah, good old Lappy. It may not be the most powerful or the fastest, I have the best screen, but, well, it works. Anyone else think that this game was written by poor nerds? Oh, Yellow Magic Orchestra band from the 70s. Thanks, guys. Talk to Lappy. Looking pretty hot there, Lappy. Like, literally hot. Overheating, as usual. Yeah. Overheating laptops are the fucking worst. Those damn headphones. Hey, the GX Ultra Beats sync automatically as you start to watch a live concert from Oakland. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, damn! Live Intelligence Processing System. Lappy is a bit of a relic. You have an article due tonight. Better finish it before bed. Okay. So that's OK Today, Journalogic, Lips Live, which appears to be YouTube, and Lips Inbox, which appears to be Gmail. Okay. Look at OK Today. OK Today is Neo SF's most beloved morning show all about news and entertainment. People in Neo, Oklahoma. So SF is San Francisco, right? Still confused by the name. This is the show's online newspaper called The Scanline. OK Today is usually all about feel-good news, but it does focus on serious current events at times as well. Okay. Use it. Ooh. Current events article. A story about the human revolution. Right. Read the current events article. Human revolution remains vigilant in Stay Human protests in upper market. Okay. December 19, the Human Revolution is on day 10 of their protesting outside various genus clinics around the city, including those in the East Bay down the peninsula. Genus, the gene splicing treatment facility, has been met with much controversy since the organisation reached mainstream exposure over the past few years. Genus employee Mort Crane spoke to OK Today exclusively. According to him, most Genus workers are up in arms, claiming they're being terrorised in their own city. We're here to help people who need gene therapy for their own personal reasons, whatever they are, said Crane. Individual rights have always been of paramount importance to us, he continued, and we believe that our customers have the right to live as they please or require. The Human Revolution stands behind their claim that genus is diluting the human experience by providing hybrids with gene splicing treatments. The group feels that the goals stated by genus, in addition to newer cybernetic technology, are warping humanity into a very scary, dark future. They're playing God in the most senseless of ways. We were born human. Who are we to mess with our genes and start turning everybody into who knows what? Said one protester who asked to remain anonymous. It's ridiculous and scary. It's not human. More information to follow as this story develops late into the holiday 2064 season. June, Valma, Anna, okay today. Alright, so I will talk to this briefly because I was going to talk to this before, and then the prologue, or not the prologue, but the intro cinematic was still going, was still pottering along, so there wasn't a lot of room or time for me to discuss it. What I want to mention briefly is the definition of human being played around with here. So I read an amazing book, wow, it wouldn't have even been last year, it would have been the year before, I think. Or maybe both. I feel like I attacked it a couple times. But it was by N. Catherine Hales, and it was called How We Became Post-Human. This, in concert with Haraway? Donna Haraway? I think that's right. Talking about cybernetics. Basically, trying to break down the idea, and these are not new books. These are not new concepts. How much they've permeated the zeitgeist, that's a different question. But these things are not new, and in fact, I'm talking about bedrock concepts that have themselves been critiqued and probably been updated by new theorists. But anyway, talking about how we define human, what we think it means to be human. And a game like this, the way that it's defining human is unmodified, presumably by implants or whatever, or, cybernetic arms or eyes, or the various things we saw in the intro cinematic, or biomodification. So what's being talked about here with this genus clinic, the idea that you can go in and have your genes played with, and you will thus be, more elf-like, or more like a lizard, or a potted plant, or a horse. Who knows? Anything you want, because genes, they're magical building blocks, and you just flip them around a bit, and hey, you're a different thing. The fantasy continues. Drawing that line in this game is important for this sort of discussion. I agree with it within this context, but what I want to flag is there is much to be said for cybernetics, or the idea that we use external items, make them internal, and change who we are. So that idea of the cyborg, you think of the Borg from Star Trek, if that's what you're into, or, I'm sure there are other sort of famous cyborgs. I default to the Borg because of my upbringing. But if you've ever been vaccinated, you're a cyborg. Plain and simple, right? If you're taking that basic definition, if you look at it through that lens, if you get fucking vaccinated, you're a cyborg. An external element has been implanted into you, has been placed within your system to create a specific effect, to change you, to benefit you. That makes you a cyborg, right? So if we already think about, if you look at that small change that we consider commonplace or normal, and we don't say anyone who gets vaccinated isn't human, and then you take it to this other extreme where people are changing their entire bodies, they're going into a clinic, paying money and leaving completely changed, or vastly changed. Like maybe, if you could look at it in terms of percentages, maybe they're 50% lizard now, whereas those of us who get vaccines, the percentage of us that's changed is so negligible as to be, unreadable. Or just, a number that is a zero, and then a dot, and then a lot of other zeros, and then another number. Yeah, I wanted to flag that, because if this is going to talk about definitions of humanity, that's an important point, is that we have already done that. We're already doing that. This has been true for a long time. I mean, some people argue that tool usage is an extension of that sort of concept. I mean, that can be argued because you can drop a tool. You can't just drop your vaccine out of your system, right? Like the idea of being implanted perhaps is a bit, changes that slightly. But what we're doing is arguing by which degree. And then it no longer, you don't have the right anymore to say I'm human and you're not, because you're both inhuman in some way. It's just what amount. And making that fuzzy, I think, makes those conversations a little richer and a little more interesting, because it's harder to be so hardline about it, right? Because you start to look the fool. You're just pissing in the sand at that point, I think. Anyway, let me just skim chat. Couple things being said. We are already cyborgs, correct, Mushin? Yep. Crafty Devious saying to me specifically, I think that it's not necessarily a line the game is drawing, but one that they are showing, and we'll see other versions of lines. Yep, very true, very true. Like it's saying that right-wing nut jobs draw the line here, and the game may draw it somewhere else. Correct. Yep. Pacemakers. Yep. Cat does twitch. Absolutely true. Yeah, Crafty Devious. Implant in your arm, changing your hormones. Literally implant. Absolutely. Yeah. Cybernetics is... Well, this comes up in technology a lot anyway, right? Because once we normalize something, we basically steal it from these futuristic visions. AI researchers, there's a great glib quote about the definition of AI is whatever we haven't done yet. So whenever AI researchers write a program to do something incredible that people previously said a program could never do, the definition of what AI is, of what an intelligent machine is, gets pushed back another notch, right? What this means is that we need better definitions, because if you can just have this sort of kicking a can back and forth between two theorists, like neither of them is making new knowledge, it just becomes competition, right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't be writing programs to do cool things, I just think we should have clearer discussions as a society about what we actually mean by these terms. And this is something I've been thinking about very recently as well, so I won't go into it too deeply here. I still need to sit on this stuff because, you know, I'm doing the exegesis soon. This is all coming up along with these conference papers, and journal articles, and what have you. But yeah, the definition of AI keeps getting shoved into the magical future because what we're doing today becomes normalized. You know, voice-activated things were absolutely science fiction several years ago. You would talk to a machine and it would fucking hear you and do what you wanted. Now people are installing them into their homes permanently. In a decade, they will be commonplace. Well, they might be commonplace, who knows, we might have a change, but it is not hard to imagine that these things will become so cheap and so commonplace that it's no longer fantastical, and thus it is not something to fantasize about. And that is what's happening with cybernetics, with these little implants and cool things that we have today that we wouldn't have had hundreds of years ago, and in hundreds of years in the future, provided the human race is still kicking around, who knows what will be normal. Yeah. Cat does twitch. I have a student with diabetes whose insulin and BGLs are synced with their phone. Damn! Hot damn. Yeah. Anyway, this game is gonna dish up the goods. I can already feel it. There was something else it mentioned as well. I will get into it more when we actually meet a ROM, because I bet we will. But that idea of a ROM being a stupid, dumb machine that is there to help you, and you're meant to talk to it, you're meant to build a relationship with it, but it does not understand you. It mimics. It's a chatbot, right? We know chatbots. We're familiar with chatbots. We don't expect chatbots to be intelligent. We don't expect them to. Well, we don't expect them to know us, to get to know us. We don't expect them to have an internal perspective on the world that is truly changed and can be reflected on within them based on interactions with us, right? They can react, but it's not learning because it doesn't know anything. Yeah, it's either Sherry Turkle or Shelley Turkle. I think it's Sherry Turkle. At any rate, Turkle. She has written several fantastic chapters in various books that I've read, pointing out the dangers in having a machine that people think is listening, that people think is learning from them and is actually sympathizing with them, that has an empathic response when it's all simulated, and how dangerous that is, not just for that individual person, but for like what kind of trend that might create. I'm not saying it is guaranteed bad. I've heard arguments for and against. I think the discussion against it is an important one to have because we need people to know what isn't happening. People need to go into it with open eyes. But if they go into it with open eyes and still want it, that's a different thing, I think. But yeah, it's about informing people. Cat does twitch. What about chatbots linked with a neural network? That just means it will... So are you talking about a chatbot that will basically respond better, respond in more intelligent ways, learn from the things you've said? See, okay, so when the word learn is used in these contexts, It's easy to throw it around because what we're trying to do is explain something to one another. We're trying to get a simple concept across. That is, the chatbot has been changed by this information, it has stored it somewhere, and it can repeat it back or reutilize it. And programs absolutely do this within that context. But if you look at the sort of the philosophical definition of learning, which requires understanding, chatbots don't understand a thing. Neural networks do not understand a thing, because understanding, true learning comes from having a true consciousness, an internal consciousness of some kind, right? By that definition of learning. So there's the throw-around definition of learning saying, oh, this machine is learning this, and that's so that people know that the machine has taken the information on board in some way and will react to it. But true learning and true understanding is a different thing. So its ability to respond in a way that is convincing does not mean that it has an internal life, right? This is a whole discussion about the Turing test, but the Turing test itself is heavily flawed. That's a discussion for another day, because that's a deep well. But yeah, again, we'll get into this more with the ROMs. I possibly should have skimmed across it instead of delving in, but who knows? Maybe this game is about to hit a breakneck pace. This is getting philosophical for real. Let me sip my beverage. Alright, so, Charlie Nova. Click on Charlie Nova.
Hey, it's Charlie Nova, host of Star in the Stratosphere, and Tonight in the Stars. Join Ryan V. Jossio and the Hassy Boys for our 10th annual TMI New Year's Eve special, where I'll interview some of the hottest celebrities and find out what their plans are for 2065. Tune in or join us live at Union Square for the big show, starting at 10 p.m.
Can I just say that I love sort of retro-futurist stuff, where instead of trying to predict the future by inventing trends, you just lean on old ones and make them sort of sassy and weird? I really like that, because you get to set the tone for a style that is evocative in a way that we enjoy, but without looking the fool in a couple decades, because you were never trying to predict, you were always trying to do something interesting. I like that a lot. What's the headline? A story about our hometown Neo SF 49ers. Okay. I don't like that there's a look at and read as separate. Well, I guess that's important so that I can go, oh, I don't want to read about sports. Like, I don't. Yeah, maybe. The Neo SF 49ers, hashtag Quest for 10, is back on. December 19, Sunday's big game at New Candlestick brings an important question to everyone's mind. Can the 49ers punch their ticket to the playoffs and bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Neo San Francisco? It would mark the first win since the move to New Candlestick after an almost 50-year hiatus from the city. Yeah, what the fuck is New Candlestick? Since returning, they've had disappointing losses to the New York Giants and the Mexico City Luchadors? They've brought on a fresh coach, but controversy surrounds their new quarterback, Patricia Lopez, as some vocal sports fans continue to accuse her of having illegal cybernetic enhancements. That would be a thing in sports. If you could hide them in a way that couldn't be scanned or wouldn't turn up under sort of physical interrogation. Interesting. Certain modifications of implants are banned by the league, but their official report state that their repeated investigations into Lopez found no evidence to substantiate these rumours. It's relevant to point out that Lopez is the first woman to ever be quarterback in a major football team. I was about to mention that they're talking about the quarterback being a lady, and now they're saying that she's the first lady, in 2064 no less. The 49ers look to reclaim their top spot since the last win with their Super Bowl, I don't know what that number is, victory over the Tokyo Titans. LXXIX? I don't know. I'm assuming some of you guys are Roman numeral nerds. I probably wanted to be at some point. I feel like I've long given up that dream. I feel that ache inside. Sunday's game is a rubber match, and the winner secures a spot in the playoffs between our Neo SF 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be a close game to say the least. Catch Sunday's results here first. For all things everything, I'm June Valma Anna, okay today. 79? Okay, 79. Alright, local news article. Oh, Kat does Twitch, briefly saying this is why teachers can't lose their jobs. Yeah, so there's an important point about automation. Yeah, so there are some jobs that are more resistant to automation based on the current trends we are seeing in technology, and also based on social trends. There are some things that hopefully, or presumably, either or, the general public will still want a person to do. Certain customer-facing or people-facing roles that it should be people conversing with people getting the job done. Yeah. All right, what's the headline? A story about a broken down froyo stand? Oh, scandalous. I want to read it. Golden Gate Park vandalism on the rise. Is this the humanists, the human folk? Reports show that local foodie booth JJ's froyo stand was destroyed last night in what appears to be another case of a rogue ROM committing an act of vandalism. Glad I read the news. Sneaky, hiding at the fourth along there. The cart was evidently attacked and damaged by a large ROM that had no shell. Okay, so we did see ROMs and shells in the intro cinematic, or at the very least we saw an X-Way, right? So the shelled ROMs were smooth, white, segmented, and the internals are very much, Terminator skeleton kind of, little sort of Matrix buggy kind of thing. Witnesses state that the alleged perpetrator has been randomly appearing at night before lumbering back into the nearby trees on the western side of the park. This is the first case of a ROM being reported to live on its own in the wild as a stray. Police say that tracking down a potential owner of the ROM is likely impossible. It's not possible to track the ROM? How large is this park? Some speculate that the strange ROM may have been framed by vandals who set their crime deliberately to make it appear to have been carried out by the ROM, rogue or under orders. Yeah, okay. OK Today reached out to Parallax for comment, and they assured us that the rogue ROM is purely a myth that tends to pop up conveniently when low-revenue businesses have the urge to file an insurance claim. That could be a point as well. I'm going to make the claim now that I think our character, as a tech reviewer, we're going to end up with a ROM that is actually sentient. Sapient, I should say. That's my guess. That's what I'm guessing. Sip the beverage. I've been talking a lot. My God. This is compared to Nier Automata, holy shit, this game has legs. Touching on some real shit. I look forward to referencing this in my thesis. Mushin saying, no offense, none are safe. The only thing machines cannot do is suffer, so I guess that will be the domain of humans. Yeah, look. The thing about predicting the future of what machines can and can't do is they are frequently capable of more than what the average person expects. And it's entirely possible that there are a lot of jobs that could be made obsolete by the humans. But without a machine being in charge, it's how much that would be stood for, right? Because certainly at the moment, we have human policymakers that if they favoured putting everybody out on their ass, the people would then vote those policymakers out on their ass, right? Potentially. Anyway, deeper conversation to be had about that. I mean, some people are very afraid for their jobs, and I don't fucking blame them, because it's a tricky spot. And there's a lot of economists saying, oh well, it's not going to be that bad. But if they're wrong, they can keep on being economists until they get replaced. But the people they assured will be okay, who didn't upskill or look for a different job, are then fucked. Like, the risks for some people are so high that I think being worried is not a bad thing, and looking for alternatives or looking for ways to shore up that dam. Anyway. Oh yeah, economists are the first to go. Yeah, no doubt. Wouldn't be. Well, I mean, they're already relying on algorithms, for fuck's sake. There's plenty of jobs where they're just executing on a formula anyway, right? So yes. Anyway, Parallax did not appreciate the reports of vandalism being attributed to their models. Is this wild ROM the real deal, or could it be a fairy tale created by those looking to make a quick buck? Or perhaps there's something else to be gained. More as this story progresses. Mel Hopkins, OK Today. All right. Really? I have to do that and then click the back button? Okay. So, Journalogic, I'm guessing, is where I write my article. That's the last thing I'm going to do. Let's go to Lips Live. This is Lips Live, the premier online video network. This app is like a mesh of all active streams. Okay. It's less like YouTube, more like Twitch. The GX Ultra Beats sync to Lappy automatically as you connect to one of the less pornographic feeds. Your best options are usually limited to video game streams, old concert recordings, and live cams of baby animals. Your choice is clear. Lappy speakers feel neglected, but now you have the first-hand experience needed to start actually writing the review. The first part of work is done. You're so accomplished. Huh. I was expecting video of some sort. Savagery. Oh yeah, fair enough from Place of Old as well. Yeah, like to see a robot deal with a tantrum or a child destroying your classroom, or going missing or reporting suspected abuse. Yeah. I think there are some things that will hopefully remain the domain of humans, in that we are who we are. Recent reading that I've been doing indicates that there isn't enough focus placed on the combination of so-called nature and nurture. Like, drawing a line between the two is preposterous, and we learn how to be who we are so much from our surroundings and from other humans, that cutting down on that or changing that changes who we are, changes who we become, changes the state of play. And yeah, I would like to think that people keep on teaching people, because, well, I mean, it's just so hard to know what would happen if that didn't. If that wasn't the case, could we as a species come back from that? I'm going to check my mail. Well, first I'll look at what mail is. My inbox. A hell so terrifying, so specific, so personal that no other living thing should dare enter. Luckily, you're the only person with the password. That's so strange. What kind of fucking mail am I collecting? Recent mail? Okay, so it's letting me know spam, scam, bill, work, weekly, invitation, promotional, rent. Alright. Read spam. Get cheap crash. Only 99 creds for 30 days supply 212 stims. Okay. Scam mail. Hello there. I am Princess Emma Thomas. Yes, the Princess Emma, heiress to the digital empire of the horse fortune. Does anybody get spam like this anymore? This feels like a dead meme, this kind of spam letter. But I also don't get spam. I write you today as I need your help to secure my great fortune. You see, it has become frozen and I need to transfer it to at least 5 different accounts. World Bank, seize my credits. Lots and lots of credits. Please, if you could send your personal credit ID marker to me immediately so I can send you 20% of the fortune. I'll only require that you send half back upon receipt of the funds. You may keep the rest of the money. The best part, there's literally nothing that can go wrong. So grab yourself some Vegemite and welcome to the Queendom. Huh. So that's meant to be an Australian... What is this email? And what was that noise? Did I earn points? Was that meant to be a horrified noise? Also, that's depressing. I don't want 2064 to be the year that Australia has a fucking princess. Because monarchy's for rubes. Your account is past due in the amount of, well over 1,000 credits. Failure to restore your account may result in termination of service. Power plant power. Ah yes, that age-old choice between food or electricity. Damn, what a future. It's almost like this person on Centrelink. Oh! Hey there, I'm the lead editor for What the Fuck Sounds, formerly Oh My God Zounds. We're a new up-and-coming audio review feed looking for hot talent who need a platform for their work. We'd love to feature any product reviews you'd like to do for us. We'd be able to give you some great exposure, and if we like your stuff, could possibly throw some creds your way. Don't they know people die of exposure? Bwomp! Okay, so these are reaction sounds. These are my feelings. So, rent mail. According to this email, your rent is nearly due. Better get that article submitted soon. Okay. Promotional mail. A coupon for 5 credits back on. Yeah, there's just little sounds all the time. Hassi Infinity has all of your daily calories with none of the nutritional value, like the opposite of a diversion. Huh. Invitation. An invite to come see the lighting ceremony of the Christmas tree downtown from your friends at Dr. Trisha Lee, DDS. Denial of service attack? Why would your dentist invite you to a lighting ceremony? Feels like a trap. Probably a trap. That is a weird email to get. This is your weekly update from Vintage Tech, your #1 source for classic technology. Popular pieces this week. The King of Click, a retrospective on the classic Model N keyboard. Unsubscribe from newsletter. This is my only option. Request denied. Subscription cannot be modified. Well, I earned a trophy. Well read, because I read all of the things to be read. Alright, well, now that I've done literally everything but, this feels accurate in terms of journalism, right? This feels journalistically accurate. I've never been a journalist. I think that's clear. Journalogic isn't the fanciest program, but it's the only word editor that still gets updates for a machine as old as yours. I was going to say, is it open source? Are you just running it because you're cheap? I mean, I get it. I was cheap for a long time. And then I, started yet another degree, and they just gave me Microsoft Office. And they'll probably take it back when I'm done. Those bastards. All right, time to get work out of the way. Let's do this. Yeah, let's progress the plot. Selling your soul. Bit by bit. Character by character. Finished. Now to send it off to the editor. So, this is all happening automatically. I'm not touching anything. There, your big break. Surely your glowing review of GX Ultra Beats is your ticket out of poverty and into a book deal. Surely. Well, yeah. I like the sarcasm here, because obviously this wouldn't lead you into a book deal. Why would it? You wrote an article for headphones, unless your novel is about headphones, or about writing reviews, or about reviews themselves. It's strange. Yeah. So the picture they're painting here is the struggling writer. I get a bit squeamish. It's the word squeamish I want to use. I'm going to go with squeamish. Let's assume squeamish, but without the physical nausea. I get a bit squeamish when I see writers writing about writers. Because this game was written, right? Somebody wrote this game, somebody wrote these concepts, and the main character is a writer. I get squeamish. I start to squirm. It's this weird sort of self-insert. And to assume that other stories that writers have written aren't themselves self-insert, in smaller and large, is fucking preposterous. But it's when it's overt like this that I don't know, I start to cringe and wriggle about in my chair. I'm not wounded by this particular game thus far, but as a trope, I don't know, it's not my favourite. It's possible that Stephen King ruined it. It's possible. Cat does Twitch, your book is a collection of headphone reviews. I mean, if it was parody, if it was interesting, I'd read that book. I used to love reading Overqualified, which is Joey Comeau's horrible, ridiculous, and insane CV cover letters that he wrote for various businesses. And they're all just so jacked and so strong. And I'm pretty sure he sent them off, because Joey Comeau was that kind of dude. I'd like to believe he sent them off. Work is finally out of the way. Time for bed. I thought it was going to be time for play, but no. Maybe bed is play. In this dystopian realm. Oh, log out. Okay, well, do I want some mustard? How about some mustard? It's really a wonder that you're somehow still alive. Okay, I'll just go to bed. I've done everything that this room has to offer. You're home within... Oh, yeah. No, use bed. Well, no, hang on. Let me try this front door. Well, at least you feel safe behind this newly installed security door. Newly installed? Okay, is this a hint to the fact that it's about to be blown open by some robo-droid? It's late and nothing is really open right now. Ah, okay, yeah. These damn headphones, okay. Sleek hums and blips, sounds secure. Really? And listen to the door. You command the door to stay locked. It bleeps stoically back at you. Oh, okay, it will stay locked. Very good. Sleep. Team sleep. Well, does that mean it's downloading files?
Ah, good. You're finally awake.
Well, shit. Fucking break in.
I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. It seems rather inconvenient.
So it's gonna be that kind of dialogue, is it? Alright. Alright. That's fine. I just finished playing Nier Automata, but that's fine. It's fine, everything's fine, it's fine. Man, I've gone through 2 big cups of liquid and I'm now onto the bottle. It's only an hour. Man, my throat hurts. Alright.
Are you significantly opposed to cybernetic augments?
Oh, do they help with sleep? What the hecky? How did you get into my apartment, or bois? I feel like bois is appropriate here. It fits the tone. It's the first thing I could have chosen, you know. I'm gonna go bois. I'm gonna go bois.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. While you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC.
You fucking did what?
Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro-actuators. So I took the liberty of cleaning the place up a bit.
Well, you didn't fix the sink, so fucking ball dropped. Also, micro-actuators? What is?
As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of a snag.
Was it my password? Was it the fucking password I put on it? A snag? How did you get in here in the first place? Forget all that. Tell me why you're here. I'm calling the cops. And that's very aggressive when clearly we're about to be best friends, because that's the whole point of this story. Oh my god! Fucking Cat Does Twitch pointed out something I hadn't even noticed. The piece of paper! I refused to even put it in my inventory. I refused to interact with it at all because it was so important to my identity as a writer that a single piece of paper be on the floor that I could yell at. For some reason. I'm gonna say a snag because I'm worried about my PC. Also, you know, I like snags. Who among us has not been to Bunnings? I mean, really.
Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have had a critical failure while I was attempting to remove some particularly nasty malware.
Huh.
An electrical surge caused significant damage to several other components as well. I would consider it no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with?
Ho ho ho, I just cooked your laptop. What the fuck, man? All my work was on there. I don't have enough money for a new computer. I mean, both are... I think this is one of those no wrong answers situations. I think I get the impression from not all of these conversation trees. The cops thing might have elicited a different response, but I get the sense. My intuition, which is almost certainly incorrect because it's an intuition, or at the very least it's not rigorous, is, yeah. Place of Old pointing out to Gemma that it's Peridot. Holy shit, I did not even twig to that. Breaks in, fixes things, keen on tech, very insistent, doesn't get why I don't understand. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Cat Does Twitch. Good thing I was going to write my novel on paper. That is a good point. But I have to face up to the fact that, you know, my actual work was on there, so I'm going to go with that.
Don't fret!
Did you back it up onto your brain?
I did manage to back up your data drive's contents on my storage before the crash.
Boom.
Additionally, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs.
Alright, well, that should be interesting.
It is the least I can do.
So I was waiting for... I thought I was going to be reviewing this tech, but it fucking kicked my door in. It tidied up. It's going to be better than my shittier computer. And I'm a lonely ass, messy as hell, failure of a writer. So I'm not gonna get too aggressive. I'm gonna be like, how did you break in here?
I came in through the door, of course. The cryptographic algorithms it uses are actually quite atrocious.
Okay.
It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code. It looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the SciFiAIguy M/14723-B.
17 trillion. The secure, blah, blah, blah. I knew my landlord was full of it when he said it was the best. I think that's the most relevant thing. The amount of clock cycles, okay. I mean, I don't know how long I was asleep. I don't know how hot this clock runs. So getting all, you know, I mean, this implies that I meant to find that preposterous or insane. That, I'm not going to click that one, but I'm going to go this one.
Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced likely numeric combinations against the stored personal data on you.
Well, I mean, that's the smart thing to... Stored personal data.
I'm not
Stored
certain
personal
why
data.
you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it would be sufficiently obscure to defeat most casual attempts to enter.
Yeah, it's 2064, motherfucker.
Frankly,
I should
felt
have
a
better
little silly
passwords.
that I took the time to do all that once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken
And it's open.
and that you left it open.
My Windows lock is broken. You know my dog's birthday. I think that's more relevant. So this thing has personal info on me.
I know a lot
Me?
of things. Honestly, it would have taken me longer if I had to enter the codes manually, but it was trivial to slice through the door's firewall and try against the stored data directly.
The answer of, oh, I know a lot of things. I'm quite knowledgeable when I... What a response to this thing knowing all my personal shit.
I would suggest investing in an Insect Model 1355 automatic security door. The 1385 is newer, but I find the added attack vector introduced by the integrated voice commands isn't worth the convenience.
You're gonna fucking sell it to me, capitalist bot? Breaking into my home and telling me to buy new shit?
The 1355
While breaking my old
also
shit?
has 300 5-star reviews on Congo.
Hooray!
Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt head I am not equipped to remove. I took the liberty of filing a maintenance request with your building superintendent. Considering the
Cool.
speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 working days to complete the repair. Not quite to my standards.
Yeah, so...
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous.
Okay, so we can get nervous.
I have all the necessary
Noteworthy.
protocols, but I've never actually spoken to another person besides Hayden, until now.
So that's interesting. So... Unless the other ROMs also say things like, sorry, I tend to ramble when I'm nervous. Like, that is a vulnerability that doesn't feel like it would be the best conversational option necessarily for an idiot, unconscious helper unit. I mean, you know, it is endearing, so maybe it would be a good idea actually, because working here, it's making, oh, I'm endeared now, you know. I'm the endeared audience. Yes, Hayden is in blue. You know Hayden Weber?
Well, saying I know Hayden is putting it simply, but yes.
Okay, so Hayden built you? He's your Hayden father? I haven't seen Hayden in over a year. I mean, of course, I know all about Hayden. Where is he?
I don't really know. That's why I'm here.
Oh.
Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but you're certainly the most statistically supported.
I ran the numbers and you're all right. You're all right. Slow down, just start from the beginning. What makes you believe that? Ah, interesting. Interesting. Gonna sip some water. Sip some water, read some chat. Landlord's a scum. Yeah, they can be pretty bad. I've had some intense landlord experiences. Cat does Twitch. He made the bot watch Star Wars. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Huh. You fucking damn right he did. Yeah, tell me the story. Exposit.
Okay, yes, I can do that.
I'm also, I haven't asked what this thing is. So we haven't seen anything like this in the visual material apart from in that little bit of the intro trailer when it's like, everything will change forever or something, and then there was a little bit of this blue dude off to the side, right? So there was a little bit of a hint, a glimmer, but as a character, I'm not interrogating the nature of this individual. I'm taken aback by some elements, and maybe there'll be a line of dialogue where I'm like, oh, silly me, I forgot to ask what the hell are you? But this feels like a glaring omission. It might just be that they wanted to deliver information a certain way, which I get, but...
Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some persons unknown to me.
They physically assaulted the apartment. They punched it. They punched the apartment. They kneed it in the pipes. I don't know.
He seemed
I'm
frightened,
tired, guys.
terrified even, and instructed me to escape. I crawled out of a window, and after some deliberation, hurried here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left.
Why am I your best hope? Was anyone out for Hayden? Why would they want Hayden? Yeah, why would they want Hayden?
He is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has to do with me.
Ooh! Here we are. Who are you anyway? What do you have to do with it?
Excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I've never had the pleasure of doing so before.
Because I'm the first of my kind. Womp womp womp.
I am Turing.
I feel like I already knew that. Oh, even already knowing that. Bloody hell. I mean, you know, that's the thing about references. When they land and you like it, oh, it feels good because this thing knows the thing that you know, and it's like this beautiful connection that you get with the text that transcends time and space because you have a shared experience, and your shared experience is the other thing. And when a reference doesn't land, it's a kick. It's a kick between the legs. I mean, this one's more of a, like a gentle tap betwixt the legs. I act wounded, but I've seen worse.
I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments.
I mean, it's equally apropos and equally cringeworthy because the whole differentiation between this and the other ROMs is that this one is conscious, but the other ROMs aren't. I'm guessing. But both could hold a conversation, right? Like, I'm guessing that's why it's called cheering.
Researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am a personal side project of his. Exploring true artificial sapience.
Hey, it said sapience. Woo!
It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an organization into kidnapping him.
Okay.
Either to stop his research, or to take it and use it for themselves.
I mean, it's so interesting because the world we live in right now, plenty of people are doing research into AI, and there's some levels of, I mean, the closest we come to, or the closest thing I am aware of, there could be stuff going on under the hood that, isn't caught up by the media, or what have you. But I know that, is it Waymo? Is Waymo the company that had problems between, there was some company that was signed up with a larger company to do vision for AI stuff for self-driving cars, and then they jumped ship to another company, or they became their own company, and they fucking took all this proprietary shit with them, and now there was a big court case. I mean, this is possibly old news. I feel like it was Waymo. Anyway. Yeah, the fact that someone would break in the door and try to get this artificial unit. It feels quaint in this world where, in the real world that I live in, where that just, yeah. It's just so much fluffier than that. It's messier. Whereas in a world like this, you've got the, you know, this singular individual. They've cracked it. They've found the formula, or the, you know, the magical, the unobtainium, consciousness unobtainium, and they've put it in this blue-headed individual. Crafty Devious. So ROMs are like our AI-ish things now, and this one is the great leap forward. Yeah, if you know, if you subscribe to the concept of the hard problem, which I've read some stuff recently that kicks over that conceptually, which I need to get into a bit more, but I find that interesting. I think it was Dennett actually that put the shoes to it. But yeah, ROMs would be, you know, yeah. Anyway. How are you different from any other ROM? So Chatty, what makes you special? Tell me more. Yeah, how are you different? Tell me.
A regular ROM has virtual intelligence.
Yeah, this is the distinction that Mass Effect made.
They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't in any way self-deterministic.
Mm-hmm.
As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I learned to interact with the world around me.
Fucking nice. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Yes. Yes. This is my shit. This is the shit right here.
But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Did he only program me with the illusion of free will?
Oh damn, this is getting deep. I mean, let's not get into free will here. I've again been doing some reading lately that you know, kind of kicks holes in a lot of the way we think about that as well. But I mean, let's wind it back a bit. I love that this is a robot that was raised to learn in its environment, in its body, as itself. Like that's the best. That's the best. How would you know, one way or the other? Good question.
How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question.
So it's such a strange conversational thing where it's like, do I really have free will? And I'm like, how would you know? And he's like, fuck you, how would you know? Piece of shit. How do you have free will, huh? Where did you get it, bitch? Like, what the fuck, man? I get that we have to ask these questions, but that was just a weird exchange.
How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will?
We're not dancing to somebody else's will. We are dancing to our own, but the concept of our own needs to be changed, because the bit we're aware of is a tiny slice. It is an epiphenomenon. It is a cheap trick. I think we're getting a little too philosophical here. Well, I could talk about this all night, but that's fine.
I apologize for the
You're right.
tangent.
Let's further the plot. Why am I your best hope exactly?
I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book.
And your apartment was the filthiest.
Based on the combined deductions of personal profile, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to both be able and willing to help me.
What's interesting here is they've got a sapient AI that Hayden has raised from birth, so to speak, to learn and to grow. But then what it has learned to be is a very stereotypical sci-fi robot. Now, that could still be a very conscious choice. That could be the fault of the writer not interrogate, like maybe they just wanted to write this kind of robot, but they wanted to give it a different or perhaps slightly more realistic origin. I say realistic based on specific stuff that I've, you know, various things that I've read. Like stuff like this has been pitched, and I'm down with it. Absolutely, it's very evocative and rings true with other stuff that I've encountered. But it's a weird mismatch that it would then just become your standard robot that runs algorithms and it checks all this stuff and Yeah, it's interesting. It's just that little bit different there.
And the one least likely to be suspected of doing so.
I've never looked for a missing person, but I could try. Okay. Why should I get involved? I haven't said... Nope.
The
Call to
numbers
action.
don't lie about your investigative skills, but I will admit your total lack of recent successes is worrisome.
We'll see about that.
Don't worry. If Hayden trusted you, I trust you. You're strong-willed and capable.
I'm a protagonist, motherfucker.
If anything, it's worth trying for Hayden.
Was anyone out for
I
Hayden?
don't know. I'm not certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. Admittedly, Hayden has become increasingly paranoid as of late, and has warned me to stay alert. But he would never specify anyone I should fear when I asked.
To protect you? To be unhelpful in terms of the plot?
It's
To be
not
mysterious
as
in
though
terms of a
he
plot?
has any obvious enemies. There are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills, but I can't imagine any of them would go as far as snatching him.
Well, why even do it from his home when they could do it at one of those elaborate Silicon Valley sex parties? Well, I guess we should get started.
Indeed, time is of the essence. I took the liberty of charging the auto cab fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived.
Thanks a lot, motherfucker. I can totally afford that. Lead the way. Why not go to the police? They might be able to help. Okay, bobblehead, I'll help, but there better be a story here. Okay, that one sucks. We're not going renegade. I think asking about the police is fair, because I don't know what the police are like in this world, and this might tell me.
No, we can't. One of the last things Hayden told me was to avoid the authorities. We must be cautious about who we inform of this.
Okay.
My calculations show that the possibilities of a leak are dangerously high. Corruption, despite being a challenge to public trust as well as cohesion of departmental policies, is still a possibility to consider.
Okay, so, you know, alright.
If it becomes public that Hayden has been kidnapped, his life may be put in further danger. His chances of escape would surely decrease. We must keep this to ourselves for now, please.
I do like the animations on Turing's face. It's very cool. Alright, let's move to the second location. Always follow Turing to a second location. That's what the game is teaching us. And that was the prologue. Or maybe it still is the prologue. Well, now it's the 21st.
That's strange.
Boo, boo, boo.
Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired.
Oh, for a minute I thought that was dynamite on the wall. Look to the right of Turing. On the very left end of the available screen view of this apartment. I thought that was a fucking big, huge chunk of dynamite. Because that would be great. I would love some retro-futurist dynamite. That would be the shit. Hang on, let me just scroll. A little bit of chat. Defected two-way mode, or maybe from Uber. Yeah, I feel like Uber was involved. I mean, Uber have a lot of shady practices in general. I haven't read a lot of nice stuff about them, to be frank. Crafty Devious, I mean, at least the writers thought about this. They actually interrogated things. Oh, they absolutely did. Yeah. No, it's good. They have already earned points with me, which is A++. I wanted to talk. I've been talking a lot this stream, but I guess that's the point of the stream, and this is a meaty game. Something about this reminded me of, so the intrusiveness that Turing showed, turning up into my house, sifting through all of my stuff, just being super invasive, echoes problems that I'm having at the moment with the WWW trilogy by Robert J. Sawyer. I think it's Robert J. Sawyer. Yeah, so the 3 books, which are Wake, Watch, and Wonder? Or is it? Yeah, I think it's Wake, Watch, and Wonder. And it's a trilogy, a YA trilogy, so, you know, it's got that... It's got a style that I'm not especially fond of, but the core conceit is that a part of the universe... part of the internet becomes sentient. Sapient. And, you know, this new consciousness then begins to try and help the world. It is written as being a beneficent entity, still learning, still finding its feet, but trying to help people out. I mean, I just, you know, it just solved a huge problem with disease in the book that I'm listening to on audiobook. And, you know, it's purported to be very smart, way smarter than humans, getting smarter every day. And people are afraid of it, people are worried about it, people are interacting with it. My big problem with it is that this thing can hack anything. Being of the internet, it can look anywhere on the internet functionally. And so it has all this privileged information, and so it has all of this power over the world, and it was never elected, it was never chosen, and it says it's doing good, but people, you know, they just have to take their word for it. And the story will reward them for that, because that's the point of the story. But that, you know, you look at that, then you look at Turing coming into my house, looking through all my shit, backing it up, of course, but, you know, still, like, you know, hacking my computer and hacking my door and whatever, looking up my personal files elsewhere, just so it can find me. It echoes this invasiveness that is already present in our own world, and that's part of why it makes me frustrated, is the, you know, the problems we have with privacy and the issues with ethical issues with big data and all this other stuff, where Silicon Valley, I say Silicon Valley as the general term, it's not as specific as that, obviously, it's a broader thing, but there is this tech culture idea that, yeah, our homes can just be invaded in that way. I mean, I think certain models of Roomba map out your home, and then that data is retained. Like, that's... fuck that. And a lot of it could just be people just clicking, you know, user agreements and not reading them. App permissions, when they install an app, they're like, yeah, you can have my phone and my camera and my photos and whatever, I don't care, just give me the game. Yeah, I think it's a conversation that needs to be had on a broader context. And it's not that it's not being had. I'm not the first person to mention this, and plenty of companies have been roasted for making poor choices on that front before. But it's still happening, and there's this invasive element that is then championed and not interrogated in games like this and in books like the WWW trilogy. And yeah, it upsets me a bit. I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright.
I'm
Onward.
certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock.
Perhaps a maintenance robot took care of it? Okay, so there are maintenance robots just fixing doors. You might have misheard, you were busy running away. Are they both reasonable?
It's possible. Most of the repairs to the building are handled by the automated systems. At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Let's proceed carefully.
Okay.
Oh, a lucky break. It seems my access codes still work.
Hey, give me in.
Hayden's door has far better security than yours does.
Because he makes money! We shouldn't disturb any evidence, just in case we need to go to the police. After all, just be careful. You made your point about the door, let's just head in. Man, so option 3 is just be a dickhead to this blue ball robot.
Agreed.
Cool. Okay. Doesn't look like there was much of a struggle. Are you sure he was actually kidnapped, Turing? It's a good point. So Turing wasn't here for anything. Also, that the bridge in the background, if that is the bridge, the lighting, that's cool. Well, I mean, I assume it's lighting. There could be wind chimes. There could be massive wind chimes. Big fuck off wind chimes all over the bridge. But I think they're lights. Well, I'm going to believe Turing for now.
I'm not surprised. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals.
Okay.
I doubt he could have fought off a serious assault.
Well, you know, depending on the situation, it might have been smarter for him to just throw his hands up and be like, okay, we'll come along, it's fine.
I should have stayed and tried to protect him.
Yeah, you're like a couple feet tall. Aren't you programmed against harming humans? Okay, this is a very relevant point.
Of course not. How silly.
Alright.
To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify.
Okay, so... Alright. I mean, it's interesting that it says self-modify. So, does it mean... It seems like it means, based on previous statements, that self-modify is consciously modify. Is decide, I will now... My brain will now function in this way. As opposed to the way we learn, which is we have, you know, some say in what we try to learn, but the brain just changes. We don't get any say in the structural elements of that. It just fucking happens, and it happens all the time. So I'm curious what the role of self here is in this process.
Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually.
I mean, and that is a point that has been brought up when people talk about, you know, developing an AI. You know, if we end up with the super intelligence, if we end up with the singularity, and we have tried to put in a roadblock, and it's truly intelligent, if it had a goal to, you know, if it had a goal that it wanted to achieve, and the inability to harm humans was in the way of that goal, it could decide, it could, you know, override that or get around it, as is being said here. Again, these people have done their reading.
I could
or at least
rip
they've, you know.
your arm off right now if I cared to.
I like that. Comforting. Why don't you? Please don't.
I won't, for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people.
I don't know. I don't know that we have a lot of shared experience.
The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you.
Okay, so they're pushing a shared experience, an empathic thing here.
It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage. Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense. But
He told you to run, didn't he? I don't know that he did the right thing by escaping. I don't have enough context.
Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues.
So, they've made a case for Turing here being really capable, physically capable. So it's capable of violence in the realms of self-defense and defense of the people he cares about. Also, sorry, it. I mean, Turing is not a gender. I've not been presented with a gender. They. I say it because it's a robot, but no. If it has sapience, I'll err towards they. They seem pretty switched on. They seem quite capable, intelligent, able to problem solve, aware of the social contracts. Don't know how much they're aware of the world. I'm trying to figure out why I'm needed, why the plot has decided that I am the relevant point. I mean, it's been decided because the writer said so, but I want to know that the plot supports it. Maybe I'm the patsy. Maybe I'm the fall guy. Maybe that's the point. Alright. So, photos, plant, ROM parts, window, game consoles, TV, broken tech, memory card, computer, stack of books. Yeah. The navigation remains a bit weird. I have to sort of scooch around a bit in a lot of different ways just to make sure that I'm getting everything. I don't have to, I feel like I should. I like how everything is highlighted, and I like that I took the milk. I like that I just have some fucking spoiled milk in my bag. And headphones that I quite possibly don't need, but that's fine. Oh, SciFiAIguy, defs they? Alright, done. They. Cool. Cat does Twitch, you're a meat sack mouthpiece? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think that's it. It might be that I understand human culture better or human interaction. It might be that they don't want to get caught running around alone, and if they've got a person with them, they can pretend that they are that person's property. You know? Yeah, it's not as if my skills at investigation are necessarily going to be better than theirs. The way it's written, at least. Alright, look at ROM
Hayden
parts.
spends so much of his time at home building ROMs, as if he doesn't do enough of that at work.
And why are you pissed about that? What reason would you have for taking this? You don't even own a ROM. I'm hanging out with a sort of ROM. Use an item on ROM parts. Those damn headphones. A ROM only needs a few parts to get a voice, like cheering has. Maybe this one's better as it is, after all. Okay. This plant is doing much better than the one at home. Okay, so Hayden is better. He's probably better in bed as well. Use plant, pause off. Based on your track record, it's for the best. Okay, I have pause, noted. Super spoiled milk, water, plants need water. No, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna fucking keep trying. It's bad manners to listen in on other people's plants. Oh, alright. Photos, look at photos. Pictures of Hayden travelling all over the world. Working at a company like Parallax ensures you'll be more than well off. Use photos. The sentiment is understood, but you probably won't forget what Hayden looks like anytime soon. That's optimistic. My ID card. Comparing an ID picture to a nice photograph, not so good for your self-esteem. I don't know, man. I like how bad my or at least I find it amusing how bad I look on ID. Which means I don't look so bad that I'm ashamed, but I look, yeah. I think it's a fun genre. But, you know, I'm also not personally wounded by my own ID. Look at window.
Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from.
I see.
It is a considerable distance to the ground below.
Did you climb?
Critical system damage would be unlikely, but I would certainly have damaged my legs beyond repair, so...
So I fell on someone.
I took the fire escape.
What? Wow. Alright, cool. Of course you did. Use window. It's a long way down. Better be careful on the balcony. Was I on the balcony? Use an item on window. ID card. Seriously, you can't get rid of your ID. Well, I could. You just don't want me to. Want to send it plummeting to the unsuspecting public below? You can't. It's stuck to the inside of your pocket. Wah, wah. I actually didn't want to do that, but, you know. That's the thing about these verbs. They're nebulous enough that, you know, there's room there for humour. And the game appears kind enough that I don't think we're looking at a classic, you know, Sierra game.
Oh,
Insta-death
I think I see
thing.
something under those reference books.
Well, hey. Destroyed. Tablet. Look at tablet.
Ah, that device.
Do you fear it? Is it your hated foe?
I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule.
Well, and this is where you start to run into problems. Like, the whole benefit of taking care of your own schedule on a silly basic device is that maybe somebody else doesn't know it. Maybe somebody else isn't going to fucking voice their opinions and get pissy about it. Like, I've never been in a job where I would have ever had an assistant. Like, that's not something that my employment has ever afforded me. And I'm really just so okay with that. I am someone who likes to organize their own things and keep things in tidy rows. And if someone was my assistant, I would... Well, I know this for a fact. Like, you know, having gone traveling a lot with my lovely wife. And I just forget things. I forget where we're staying. I forget what trips we're on. Like, you know, what plane, train, automobile. I forget a lot of it because I didn't plan any of it. It's easy for my brain to just let go of that stuff if I wasn't directly involved. So, yeah, if I Google Home or Alexa or whatever, I don't fucking want them to be sapient. I want them to be stupid. I also don't want them at all. So I'm possibly the wrong person to talk to.
It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him.
Well, that's also relevant. That's fair.
It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card.
Well, there's a memory card down there, so we'll deal with that in a moment. Oh crap, what was I going to say? Yeah, so this game, I would be interested to know how long Turing was raised for. Because Turing is, you know, human as hell. Like, this game is... Well, okay, all of these texts are going to have human-like AIs to some degree. Like, it's never going to be... Or it's so rare that we're going to see a truly alien psychology presented in a way that is convincing. And indeed truly alien. It may be impossible. Yeah, I would like to know how long it took to get the so-called dumb blank... I mean, not completely blank, like tabula rasa, ridiculous, impossible, but the starter kit, you know, how long it took to get to current state.
That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform.
Interesting. Yeah, so if a ROM replaces all the common things that people do with their current, you know, if you look at today's world, phones, tablets, laptops, and sometimes desktop PCs. I say sometimes because they seem less common now. But yeah, if a ROM replaces all of that and then you use a hand screen or goggles for the text but everything else is possibly being read out, that's interesting. That is an interesting... Yeah, that's an odd world. Or it's interesting to be told about it, but not to be presented with it. Right now we're being told, not shown. And that makes me sort of cock an eyebrow. Just because I want to know more, I want to see more. I don't want to be told things, I want to experience that.
Unfortunately, no, I don't.
I don't know how to get into the computer.
And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time.
Okay. Why not? You hacked my door easily enough.
Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU.
Okay.
Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms.
Okay.
Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in.
I wonder if that'll be a minigame
Frankly,
later.
even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents.
Can't you just download the knowledge from the meshnet? Okay. So there's something called a meshnet. What does talent have to do with it? Hopefully I get to ask both, but I'm going to ask about
meshnet. Much in
meshnet.
the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert.
Okay, cool. That is a valid point. I like that has introduced that as well, that this Matrix-esque idea that you can plug in not just knowledge but experience. You know? Like, plug a knowledge set into this fantasy magical computer machine and it will execute it perfectly. Whereas what you need is not just the knowledge but how to utilize said knowledge. I mean, that knowledge could include its own to-do list. It could, you know, have its own, you know, yeah, maybe. Yeah, anyway.
The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition.
Oh, so that's what it meant. Let's see what it has to say about intuition.
While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down.
Okay, all right. That's the stance it's taking. Alrighty.
I lack that ability.
Of course you do.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion.
What a strange writing choice. That's so strange that... I need to push through to the end of this dialogue tree.
Machines are best at reproduction. Still life, impressionism, photorealism.
Yep. But you're good at abstract art.
But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel.
Okay. Alright, so I shouldn't get too mad at this game. I shouldn't get too mad at this game for doing what most other texts on this issue do. It's because it's hit a few notes that I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's doing something that no other text or other texts rarely do. Oh, this is great. I get rewarded. And then it says that intuition is some special magical thing, and that creativity is something that it doesn't have. But oh, look, it does have creativity. It's just a bit unfortunate. But it's unfortunate because of the context that I'm in. It's not unfortunate in the sense that it is fucked up and fuck this game, it's stupid. That is absolutely not true. This game is really cool and I'm really enjoying it. It's just a cliche that I feel like I've been ambushed by because I put myself in quite an excited state. Yeah. So it's unfortunate. It's a shame. It's a shame. But there you go. That's fine. That's fine. Gonna have a sip of water. Oh wow, it's like 13 minutes to 9. Alright, so we'll be done shortly. I'll push through these. That was just a long conversation about computers with this dude. Yeah. I won't get into creativity and I won't get into intuition at the moment because I have probably ranted about them before, A, and B, 13 minutes is not enough time for me to try and express myself over the stream. So let's just push on. It'll come up again. Or if it doesn't, it'll come up in another game. That's pretty much guaranteed. So can I put it in my backpack? ID card. You swipe your ID card across the monitor. Bloop! Oh, that doesn't do anything? Okay. Super spoiled milk. As long as Turing's here, you won't get away with that. The hum of the standby screen has no melody. Okay. So, game consoles, TV, and memory card are all that we have left. So let's breeze through them. Look at game consoles. Few vintage video game consoles. Hayden was always a fan of old tech. There's a Mega 16, a Dural, and even a Familink? Use game consoles. We gain the strength of the temptation we resist. I'm guessing that's an existing proverb. I like that. Oh, that rolls off the tongue. We gain the strength of the temptation we resist. I don't think it's one-to-one. Like, I feel like that is an aspirational proverb. I think that's the sort of thing you use to psych yourself up but doesn't actually have a lot of bearing in the real world. But I like that. I like that. So you'll probably become a rad video game wizard now. Okay, so it accepts that it's a bit weird. Super spoiled milk. That would be one funky controller. One of these days I'm going to use that fucking milk. The television is looping through some of Hayden's feeds. Tech banter, Ted's code tips, augmented eye. Use TV. There are no buttons on the screen, and there's no need to watch TV right now. Okay. Just looping through feeds, though. Headphones. You sync to the TV and listen to boring news in high def. Alright. Broken tech. So this is clearly plot important. A ROM component and Hayden's headset. He must have been in the middle of working on something. Okay. Busted. He must have dropped it in the skirmish. Okay. In what way is it busted? Just the chassis? The internal parts, sort of? I mean, stuff looks spilled. Super spoiled milk. Although the milk surely has a magnetic energy within it, it's unlikely that it would charge the battery. Okay, so the problem is power? it's being a bit nebulous. All right, so look at memory card. It looks like an old high-density memory card. Something in the room might be able to read it. Indeed so. Memory card added to items. All right, sick. So we'll pop that in a moment. I'm gonna. Famicom, original Nintendo. Oh, and we gain the strength of temptation we resist. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thank you, Crafty. I'm unaware of Famicom. I'm unaware. Am I missing out on something? Cat Does Twitch. Is this a tech item that I just didn't get in my childhood? Apparently, Ralph Waldo Emerson was an American essayist, lecturer, philosopher, and poet who led the transcendental movement of the mid-19th century. Okay. Sounds cool. Maybe. Maybe he's just a fucking nerd. Use item on tablet. High-density memory card. Yeah. Earned a trophy.
Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections.
So what, he removed the memory card, put it on the ground, or threw it to the ground, or maybe it dropped to the ground, and hid his tablet under some books? Is this what we're thinking here?
If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures.
If only I controlled every aspect of his life. If only all his eggs were in one basket. The tablet's calendar says he was supposed to meet with someone named Tomcat today. Ring any digital bells?
Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask.
Okay.
Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map.
Oh, I have a city map. Stardust added to city map.
We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character.
We can and we will.
Perhaps they can shine
Next
some
week.
light on why Hayden was snatched.
Next week. My city map?
Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system.
This is... I mean, the novum, the novelty element, or at least the big one in this one is, oh look, a sapient machine. But I feel like the tech that they're pitching here in the Zero world is a robot assistant that does everything that we currently expect of our existing devices.
We shouldn't put that off any longer.
It's weird to me. I don't know, I find it weird.
Once finished, I will have an assortment of new ways to assist you. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about.
Okay.
I just need to ask you a few questions. This is an exciting thing, I promise.
Alright. I love creating new accounts. Don't you know literally everything about me already? You knew my first dog's birthday. Sure, whatever, let's just get this crap over with. Cool, bring it on. Okay, so they've inverted it somewhat, because this was previously the dickhead line.
This is just how things are done.
This is the core conceit, motherfucker.
I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion clock cycles to bypass that part of my operating system, but that seems less efficient than just running the setup program. So, here we go.
You don't get a say in it, protagonist.
Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager, running the latest build of Parallax's live intelligence processing system. I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech?
Alrighty, so we're butts, right? SciFiAIguy butts, 10 characters, so SciFiAIguy. We could just be SciFiAIguy butt. Cat does Twitch. It's got a fake customer service face. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh, not that either of us have ever seen any of those. God, no. No. Heavens, no. Heavens, no. Also, Famicom was the early Nintendo. It was old school when the SNES came out. Damn. Okay. I did not know this. It was very fucking cool. Also, good point. I like to think these people are so far removed from removable memory that no one even thought about picking up a fucking USB. Well, it was next to other smashed tech, so provided you did that in the same movement, you know, they might not notice. Anyway, yeah, something to do with butts. Let's just go. They call me Butts. AI Butts. Oh, I can't, hang on. I'm trying to enter my name. Wait, what? It's not letting me select letters. I'm pressing X. Square doesn't work. That doesn't work. What? This is busted. I can't do anything. None of these buttons... Hang on. Nope. None of these buttons add any letters to the text field. The only thing that makes any noise is the circle button, which is assuredly some sort of delete or back, typically. Oh, unless that's just... Hang on, am I meant to be using the... Oh, God. I'm meant to be using this. Or am I? I am. That's really poor. Because it's really inaccurate and I don't like it. And it feels bad. AI butts. Give me the butts. They call me Butts. AI Butts. Yeah. Well, I get... So this presumably means that I can use this cursor for my, adventure game experience. I don't love it, because I don't like this part of the PS4 controller. It feels so fucking superfluous.
Do you wish to keep this name?
Yeah, that's why I fucking typed it in.
I have input your name.
Yeah.
Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and
Excellent.
conversational speech?
Excellent. Hey, I like this game. This game is good. This is a good game, and it's a good game. It's good now.
Thank you. I have input your pronouns.
Woo! Good game.
Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations?
Low FODMAP? Low FODMAP? Damn. Damn! Alright. Look, I'll go gluten-free. I'll go gluten-free because it's probably the closest. I can pick around the rest. Unless I just go vegetarian. No, I'll go gluten-free. I'll go gluten-free.
Diet set as gluten-free. Are you sure?
Yep. It's close enough.
Thank you for confirming.
It's a shame that, you know, 2064 doesn't have the low FODMAP diet, but
I
whatever.
have obtained your physical
Maybe it's been
location
cured.
from GPS and
Maybe
will
that's
load
it.
local data into my memory as it becomes available.
Actually, can you turn off location services? I've never been a fan of location
Please
services.
review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. In review.
Your name is AI Butts, your pronouns are he, him, and your diet is gluten-free.
Does that sound right?
It sounds fucking close enough. I'm not starting this over.
Thank you.
Thank you, AI Butts. Boop,
See,
weep.
that was relatively painless. You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF. The meeting
Alrighty.
with Tomcat isn't until later this evening.
I see.
Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for now.
Perhaps Netflix and chill. I want to look around a bit more.
Oh, all right.
Which is to say,
When you are ready to leave, just use your map.
I will. Just to say, I'm going to fucking save and exit. Menu. Okay. Okay, so that's the empty slot here. All right, so let's save here and call it go home. This way, I know what to do next week. Cool, empty slot, so prologue. And still prologue. Damn. All right, cool. SciFiAIguy, and go home. I love it. All right. Main menu. Okay, guys. That was our first session of read-only memories. We did it! Ah. Cat does Twitch, you're playing in a fantasy world, you could eat anything. Yeah. My fantasy is, unfortunately, my fantasy is not going back to being able to eat anything. My fantasy is living in a world in which the things I want to be able to eat are readily available. That's what I want. I have the very modest fantasy of wanting my strange dietary requirement to be better known. And it's currently achievable, or at least it's on its way. The stuff they're doing in Melbourne at 40s and at restaurants like Long Range is incredible. Incredible stuff. Anywho, that was it. That was all. That was pretty fucking great. So we had a few cliches, but by and large, this game has done its fucking homework in several key ways that I really, really like. The stuff to do with intuition and creativity might get touched on upon, might not, who knows, but I am capable of talking about those two things at the fucking drop of a hat, and as I mentioned before, I've probably already ranted about them, and I'm trying not to over-rant on this channel on topics that I've already ranted about before, because it's not necessarily helpful. Because I have a very stable viewership of people who watch and rewatch my shit, or watch it, and yeah, I don't want to talk your ear off about something I've already yelled at you about before. Anywho, this is it. We're done. Oh, not as visual as Nier, but the chat is great. Oh, very true. Very true, Cat does Twitch. I mean, yeah, Nier looked so good in so many ways, but it wasn't a story about consciousness. This is more of a story about consciousness for sure. It's so tropey in so many ways, but it's called 2064 Read-Only Memories. It's a cyberpunk adventure game. It's tropes out the wazoo. Like, that's, to some extent, that has to be acceptable. It's the little things they slip in. This is how I should be viewing it. It's the tropes that John West rejects. Anyway, there were 3 screens. Yeah, it's true. But this is indie. This game is indie as hell. It's got a small dev team as far as I know. I should do more reading on who they are, because they already seem very cool. I think I'm following the official thing on Twitter. Anyway, my throat hurts. We're done. It was a good time. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week for more of the same, because this was fucking super smooth and easy to play. I do have to read out a lot, and I'm going to be ranting a lot, so I've got to be ready throat-wise, but I can do that. Alright guys, fare thee well.